Anthony Davis to come to L.A. if that was the case.
Okay, well, obviously. Okay, well, he did need some help, but that brings up the other irony to the David Griffin nuclear blast, because between the lines, this is also a parting shot at the player who desperately wanted out of New Orleans to get to LeBron. And David Griffin is basically saying to Anthony, be careful what you wish for. You're going to coexist with LeBron, especially as his co-star. And the point was, LeBron wants all the credit and none of the blame. What have I been saying for years? I've been telling you that. I've been telling you all this.
That's not true. Skip, you know that's not true, because every time you talk about it, you say LeBron James is 3-6. I have yet to hear you say the Cavaliers and the Miami Heat are 3-6. You said LeBron James, just like you say Michael Jordan is 6-0 in NBA Finals. I have yet to hear you say the Chicago Bulls are 6-0. That's just the way it works, Skip Bayless. When you're...
I'm only talking back to you because you have told me repeatedly LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. So let's just do superstar versus superstar. Best player ever versus quote-unquote best player ever. So one's 6-0 and one is 3-6.
Oh, see, you see, but that's what happens.
No, do you see?
When you're one of these elite players, you get all the blame, you get all the criticism. Okay, LeBron James has a triple-double in Game 7, but did you see the shot Kyrie hit? LeBron James has a triple-double, but did you see Ray Allen saved his legacy?
He did.
Only LeBron James can have his legacy saved by a teammate doing his job. What was Ray Allen on the team for? To shoot and make threes. But now, all of a sudden, we hold that against him. See, David Griffin wanted to slide up under the radar. But when you play with LeBron James or when you play with Michael Jordan, Skip, was there tomorrow for Michael Jordan? Did anybody say, well, you know, Michael, in 2 years from now, once he started winning titles, it was title every single year or bust. Magic Johnson, every year or bust. Larry Bird, every year or bust. That's what the expectations are. David Griffin, so think about, let this sink in, Skip. David Griffin was there for 3 years, and he was miserable. LeBron James did it 8 straight years. The pressure, the anticipation, the expectations, and he handled it for 8 years, and David Griffin could not.
Okay, but what have I told you? Obviously, LeBron James is all-time great. He is also all-time hardest to play with. It's difficult because he is the drama king. It's a crisis a night with LeBron, and if there isn't one, he will create it. And I've told you from the start, and this is being echoed by David Griffin, that the GOAT, as you call him, does need a scapegoat. If it does go south, it's like, well, don't look at me, look at him and him and him. And the first one you are going to look at is going to be Anthony Davis. He's on the hottest seat in the NBA next year because he is the co-star to LeBron James. It's why Paul George said, I want no part of that. It's why number 2 said, I don't want any part of that. It's just too hard to live in LeBron's universe because he is the sun in that universe, and he tends to melt everything around him. He's really good, but it's really hard to play with him and to win championships with him.
Let me ask you a question. Was it easy playing with Kobe Bryant?
Nope.
How many guys are going to say, was it easy playing with Michael Jordan? Was it easy playing with Magic Johnson?
Much easier with Michael.
No, it was not. Stop.
Oh, it was. It was business as usual every night. It was killer.
So let me ask you a question. It was so easy to play with Michael Jordan that he punched Steve Kerr in the eye. What about Big Will Purdue?
Yep.
That was easy.
Vanderbilt University, 7 feet tall. Punched him right in the eye. Yep. It's motivation by fear. Everybody walked in fear of Michael Jordan, and it absolutely lifted that whole basketball team, that whole franchise, because they knew they were going to get Michael's best during the game, and they were definitely going to get Michael's best post-game. He didn't call people out post-game. He didn't try to deflect. If they lost, he took the brunt of the blame it on me. They loved playing with Michael Jordan. They feared him, but they loved it because it was going to be killer business as usual in a basketball context.
So because LeBron James, the expectation is, I expect you to do your job, and I expect you to do it at a high level. And if you don't, I'm not going to punch you in the face. I'm not going to punch you in the eye. I'm not going to say anything. There's this expectation.
I'll just call you out in the media. That's all he does.
Skip Bayless.
We're
How many
top
times
heavy
he called
as you
Kyrie
know
out?
what, said LeBron in New
Skip,
Orleans.
did he lie? Did he lie?
You can't say that. You can't just completely disrespect the bottom 3/4 of the roster. Jordan would never have done that, ever.
Skip, hold on, Skip. Do you realize what he was doing, all the players that they flipped over because they tried to get the roster better? They traded his best friend in Charles Oakley. Why did they do that? Because they thought Bill Cartwright could make the roster better.
And he did.
But see, nobody... Okay. But you're going to criticize LeBron James for wanting the best roster he possibly can have in order to go to and compete for a title?
Michael had
punish LeBron
no
for
say.
that. But
Michael had no say on personnel moves at all. They ignored him. Jerry Krause ignored him, which in the end is why it all blew up.
Skip, all I'm saying is that whether the team is doing what's in the best interest or LeBron James is trying to get the team to do what's in the best interest, at the end of the day, the results that we're trying to get is to get to and win an NBA title. Now, Skip, look, what we're starting to see here is that everybody wants the credit. Everybody wants to say, LeBron's like, well, hey, I'm a major role. Okay, give me some credit. David Griffin's like, well, I was pulling all the strings and LeBron listened to me. I need some credit. And the water boy said, did you see how I made that Gatorade? Not too much sugar. Hey, give me some credit. Skip, that's the way it works. You understand that. You've covered sports far too long to know that when you win, everybody takes more than their fair share of the credit. And I think that's what we have going on here is that David Griffin feels he didn't get enough of credit. But as you mentioned in the Shakespeare play Julius Caesar, this is when it was when Brutus did what he did that Julius Caesar finally gave up because he was fighting up until then. And he was saying, he said, you too, Brutus?
You too.
He just said, I'm done.
You stabbed me too.
I'm done. He said, Skip, I'm done.
You too, David
I can't
Griffin.
fight.
You stabbed me?
Unlike Caesar, LeBron James is the John Paul Jones. I have yet begun to fight. Skip Bayless, if you think this man is going down without a fight, you're sadly mistaken. Now, I just want you to know the most dangerous animal is one that's wounded. Now, everybody's trying to take their pound of flesh from LeBron, but I can promise you this, and I don't normally make promises because promises are like pie crust, thin and easily broken. This is a commitment. LeBron James is on a mission, and he will get to the promised land, Skip Bayless. You watch, mark my words.
I'm marking it down right now because it's going down, down, down. And by the way, speaking of LeBron and tweets, his response tweet about the throne has been played with too much.
Yeah, they've been tinkering with the throne.
It's actually two T-O-O, but maybe he just typoed. I don't know. Maybe
Man, look at first of all, Skip Bayless. We're not, look here, we ain't coming here for no English lesson.
Okay.
We're not coming here for that.
Well, just quick point. Maybe he typoed. Maybe he was just so furious. He was just typing so fast, he typed right over the second O, right?
There you go.
Proofread.
Skip Bayless, nobody ain't got time to be proofreading no text, no tweets.
All right. So now he's going to ether on all of his enemies and all the naysayers and doubters and backstabbers. And it took 9 fire emojis. 9?
A lot of emojis.
9?
Loves the emoji lately.
So,
Fire and brimstone.
okay, my first issue is with the throne. What throne? The throne has been abdicated. It's gone. He's 3-6, and he went 28 and 27 last year. Kevin Durant took the throne 2 years ago, to be honest with you. And fortunately for LeBron, there's going to be no Kevin next year, so it is wide open. But you know what? I get tired of this because I don't tell me, LeBron. Just show me. He keeps flexing his muscles. Comeback season for the ages. That was even before David Griffin. Don't tell me. Do it next year. Come out and show me.
Skip, do you find it ironic that LeBron James has stepped off a cliff in year 16 when he had 27, 8, and 8, and Kevin Durant, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard has never, ever in their life ever had a season like that? I mean, let that sink in for 1 second. LeBron James in year 16 stepped off a cliff. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Kevin Durant has never, ever in their NBA careers had one season, let alone two, because LeBron did it back-to-back, a season like that.
Speaking of back-to-back, Kevin Durant had back-to-back finals MVPs, case closed, throne abdicated to KD, which brings me back to DG, as in, no, I'm sorry, this is David Griffin. Yes, DG, yeah. David Griffin.
DG.
The point is, why would he do this now? What would motivate him? Well, this is my take on it. This is my 2 cents from a distance. I believe that David Griffin is feeling himself a little bit. He did hit the lottery in New Orleans, and I don't think he likes his new team. I think he loves it. And he talked about how inorganic it was in Cleveland because LeBron kept doing one-year deals, so you can't build around him. Well, now he's got the flip side of LeBron. He hit the lottery and got Zion, the un-LeBron, who plays with and moves with a joy that LeBron doesn't move with, at least anymore, where he's just so happy to be in New Orleans and happy to be built around. And you've got veterans on this team. When I look down the list, you got Drew Holiday, J.J. Redick, Derek Favors. You still got Etwan Moore, Jahlil Okafor. You got Melly, the Eurostar.
Those veterans, Derek Favors and J.J. Redick and Etwan Moore and all these guys, what have they ever won?
Okay, well, what are they about to win? Because then you added the rising stars, Lonzo B.I., Josh Hart, maybe not Josh Hart, a rising star, but a contributor. And then you got Zion and Jackson Hayes and Nickeil Alexander-Walker as the kids in the mix. And all of a sudden, it's an explosive mix. And the SI idea was, we're going to play faster than anybody. They're going to be must-see TV. And David Griffin's final salvo in the SI piece was, don't be surprised if I make a big trade at the trade deadline and people are going to say, what the F are you doing? He's going to try to win next year. Wow. That's how much he loves this team. So he is speaking from a position of strength.
Hold up. So in other words, you're willing to make moves in order to win, but because LeBron James kept that foot on your neck to constantly make moves to win, you had a problem with that. David Griffin kick rocks. Nobody listening to you. And you talk about these rising stars. The rising stars, that's when they have All-Star Weekend. When they have the rookies against the sophomores. That's the rising stars. You already know, Skip Bayless, but you're about to find out the hard way.
Well,
your head hard, but we'll show you.
David Griffin just kicked the biggest rock right in the back end.
There are a lot of layers to this story, and we are going to break it all down. But really, all week, it has been a tough one for the Cowboys. Our Skips Cowboys in big trouble. We'll discuss all the latest next. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports Channel on SiriusXM. We will be right back.